Hi guys, welcome to this week's Stretch, Relax and Restore class. Hope you're all doing really well, week 5 of our lockdown, and I know that lots of you have been using the series of classes that I've been putting onto YouTube, and thank you so much for just taking the time to message and email and let me know how you're enjoying them, and also for you popping a few requests across. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Sam. I own Gravity Yoga in the UK, and I'm really pleased that you are joining us today. So we're going to need a few props, a block and a belt. If you don't have either of those to hand, then just improvise, just find something block shape, or even use just a big cushion. Cushion will be absolutely fine for what we're going to be using it for today, and you're going to need a belt as well. So again, if you don't have a yoga belt, just improvise dog leads, or even normal belts, jeans belts, or even just the belt off of the dressing gown will be absolutely fine. Okay, so today is very much about stretching our body and also relaxing the mind, just allowing our body to just be for an hour or so and just quieten everything down. We're going to start by laying on our backs. Just find a nice supine position, gently lowering yourself down. Have your feet about hip distance apart and knees bent, and then just allow the knees to knock in together. You're going to take your arms a little away from the body, palms facing up towards the sky. Lengthen through the neck, chin very gently just dipping down towards the chest. And then give your body that permission to relax and to release. We're going to take a few nice deep inhalations through our nose and then exhale through our mouth just to release any tension that we're carrying with us. So close the eyes, soften the shoulders, take a nice deep in breath through your nose and open your mouth and let it out. Again, big inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Final one, lovely deep inhale and exhale. We're going to close our mouths and just start to breathe in and out through our noses. So really deep and full inhalations, just feeling that chest expand as we fill in the lungs with air. And then just a really full exhale, just exhaling it all back away. So just take a few breaths here to just get into the rhythm of inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And then start to deepen those breaths. So really think about inhaling as deeply as possible, filling the chest, feeling the lungs start to raise up, to expand, and the belly will just very gently raise up as well. And then exhaling every last single drop away. So deep and full inhalations and really full exhalations. Inviting the calmness in and exhaling the tension away. And just starting to feel the body relaxing that little bit more, softening. The breath is working with your nervous system to just bring that calmness in. Everything's starting to slow down. Once you've got that flow of inhales and exhales going, keep them really deep and full, but start to balance your breath so the exhales are the same length of time as your inhalations. So if you inhale into the count of 4, start to exhale to the count of 4. invite that calmness in. Give your body time to just release everything for the next hour. Most of us are carrying a lot of tension around with us at the moment, and it's not good for us. So now's the time to just release that tension, let it go, breathe it away. Inhaling in, fresh beginnings, new starts. And exhaling away something that no longer serves you. It could be tension within your physical body, or it could be tension, built up emotions in the mind. Let it go, breathe it away. On your next in-breath, start to lengthen the legs, so pushing the heels towards the bottom of the mat. We're going to float the arms up and overhead and come into a lovely big full stretch. Really feel the body starting to lengthen through, pointing through toes, stretching through fingers. And next exhale, just gently drawing one knee into the chest, the other knee into the chest, and just giving yourself a squeeze, a hug, little rock from side to side. Just massaging the body into the mat. Good. We're going to keep the right knee in. We're going to lengthen the left leg again. So straighten the leg along the mat. And then we're going to drop the right knee down and place the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. So a little bit like tree pose, supine tree pose, lying down tree pose. I want you to think about your alignment of the hips. So we want our hips nice and aligned. We want the spine to be pushed down into the mat. We're going to lengthen through the neck again. Just dip the chin very gently down towards the chest. And again, just take your arms a little way from your body. Now start to activate through that left foot. So we're kicking into the left heel. We're flexing that left foot. The toes pointing up towards the sky. We're going to soften the shoulders, soften the forehead, soften the jaw. But continue with those lovely deep breaths. So we're here for 2 or 3 breaths. Just gently starting to work into that right hip. Still inviting that calmness in. Still exhaling that tension away. Yeah, next in breath. Just taking the right hand to the outside of the right leg. Just gently pop the knee back up, and then we're going to pull that knee into the chest. Give yourself a little hug and take your hands to the outside of your shin. So keeping the spine still glued to our mats, we're just very gently going to start to rock that right leg backwards and forwards. So over to the right hand side and then back into the chest center. Just a couple of times, just gently, not only massaging into the hip joint still, but working into massaging our internal organs on the right hand side. Couple more breaths. Yeah, the next in breath, we're going to float the sole of the foot up towards the sky and come into half happy baby. So some of you can perhaps grab hold of the sole of the foot, or maybe take 2 peace fingers and grab hold of a toe. Or if you can't quite reach your foot, then just take your hand to the back of the right thigh. But what we're aiming to do is to draw our right knee in towards our right armpit. Really push the left side of the body back down onto your mat. What we don't want to be doing is rolling over, gluing that right bum cheek onto the mat. Gaze is just up towards the sky, and we're just again going to take a few breaths here, just really working at opening into that hip joint. So we're sending our breath to our hip and just feeling that stretch into the hamstrings, back of the leg. Still breathing, still keeping those deep and full inhales and exhales. One more full round of breath. Good, and then just draw that knee into the chest. So we're going to take the left hand to the outside of the right knee. You're going to place the right hand down beside you, palm down on the mat. And we're gently going to guide our right knee across the body over to the left. Push the right shoulder in towards the mat. So what we don't want to be doing is rolling the body over with us. And once you've reached a comfortable position with your right knee, then I want you to bend the left leg. So still keeping the leg on the mat, bend the left leg and see if you can grab hold of your left toes with your right hand. And we're just going to hold this breath for a few breaths. So think about where you want to place your neck. You have choices here. You can either gently twist the neck towards the right, or if that feels a little bit too intense, just have the head pointing up towards the sky, or even just have your head rolled over towards the left hand side. So entirely up to you. But we're working on the base of the spine now. We're working on opening up, just releasing that tension, that stiffness that we've had from sitting around for a few weeks now, not having as much movement perhaps as we normally would. So just 2 or 3 breaths here. Very slowly on your next inhale, releasing your toes, rolling back onto your back and drawing both knees into the chest. Taking a hand to each knee, we're just going to start to make circles with our knees in opposite directions. So you're just guiding your knees with your hands, taking them as wide as is comfortable. One more in this direction, and then we're going to reverse those circles. So start to draw the knees in the opposite direction. Last time, draw the knees into the chest, maybe another little rock from side to side, and then we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So we're hugging the left leg in, we're lengthening through with the right leg and then kicking into that right heel, flexing into the heel, and then we're going to gently drop the left knee down so the sole of the left foot is on the inside of the right thigh. Come into tree pose on this side, just take the palms away from the body and lengthen through your neck again. A few breaths. All the time you're working with that breath, your focus is on the breath, you're not allowing the mind to wander off, and if it does, just invite it back into the here and the now. Full inhale, and on the exhale just take the left hand to the outside of the left knee, just gently guide it back up, and then we're going to hug that left knee into the chest. And then start to make those little rocking motions on the left side with the left leg. So just taking the knee from the center of the chest over to the left side body. Massaging into the left hip and into the left internal organs this time. Last time. And then floating the sole of the left foot up towards the sky. So again, wherever is comfortable for you, we're bending that right knee, bending the left knee, trying to draw the knee in towards the left armpit. Taking your hand to either the sole of the foot, or 2 fingers to a toe, or your hand behind the back of your left thigh. Wherever you've chosen to go, pushing that right side of the body back into the mat. Your gaze is up towards the sky, and we're working at just drawing that left knee a little closer towards our left armpit. Half happy baby pose. One more full round of breath. drawing the left knee in to the body. We're going to take the right hand to the outside of the left knee, draw that left knee across the body over to the right. Push the left shoulder back into the mat, and then we're going to bend the right leg on the mat this time, and see if we can take our left hands to our right toes. Keep those shoulders firmly on your mat, and then decide where you want to pop your head this time. So it can be over to the left, it can be just gazing up towards the sky, or even over to the right, wherever feels comfortable for you. 2 or 3 rounds of breath here. Last round of breath, deep inhale. And on the exhale, gently rolling back onto your back, drawing those knees into the chest. Giving yourself a really lovely hug and a squeeze here, a little bit tighter than before. Gentle roll from side to side. And then keeping your hands around your shins, we're going to inhale, just float our head and shoulders up towards the sky, up towards our knees. And hug everything in really tightly. Really squeeze everything in. We're here for 2 or 3 breaths. Try and relax the shoulders away from the ears. Another deep inhale. And on your exhale, floating the head and the shoulders down onto the floor. And we're going to come into full happy baby. So both soles of the feet up towards the sky, both knees towards their armpits, hands to the soles of the feet, to your toes, or to the backs of your legs. Now we want to think about pushing the tailbone into the floor. So we don't want the hips raising up. And from here, I'm just going to gently roll from side to side. So just a nice, gentle little massage. Come back into stillness, and you can either stay here and work on your happy baby, or if you want to be a little ninja baby today, we're going to just straighten the right leg and bend it. Straighten the left leg and bend it. So quite a tight stretch behind the back of your hamstrings. Let's go again. So inhaling, straightening through the right leg, and exhaling it back. Inhaling the left leg. Ooh, feels good. And exhaling back. And then inhaling and seeing if we can just straighten through both of our legs. Deep breaths. Push that tailbone back towards the mat. Perfect. Another deep inhale. And then exhale, take your hands to the outside of your legs, draw those knees into the chest, and just gently massage the spine into the floor. Good. Cross the ankles, roll yourself to a nice upright seated position. And then we're going to just flip over and come into tabletop position. So spread through the fingers, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath our hips. And just take a moment to find that position. Remember, you want to imagine being able to have a glass of water or a cup of coffee on your back. It's that straight. Yeah, take a peek between your legs. You shouldn't be able to see your toes in nice straight line with your knees. And we're going to just start to flow with our spine, cat and cow. So inhaling the chin up, belly down, pushing the shoulders back, sending that tailbone up, holding for a couple of breaths. Really starting to wake the spine up now. Good. Next, exhale into your cat, into chest. Pushing with your hands, pushing the shoulders up towards the sky, arches through the spine, and then tucking your tailbone down towards the floor. Few breaths here. Really think about pushing the tops of the feet into the mat. So you're really feeling like you're pushing that mat away from you. You're pushing the floor away from you. Yeah, and then inhale into cow, chin up, belly down, tailbone up, shoulders back. Exhale, chin to chest, arch the spine into your cat, tailbone down. Once more, inhale into cow. And exhaling into your cat. Perfect. Floating back into your tabletop position. And from here, we're going to extend the right leg back. So draw the right leg up. Think about trying to get it in a straight line with your spine. And then we're going to flex into that right heel. So the toes are facing down towards the floor. Once you've got your balance, we're going to float the left arm in front of us. So again, see if you can make a nice straight line, arm, spine and leg. Good. You can either stay here or you can incorporate some crunches. So we're going to inhale, lengthen through. Exhale. We're going to draw the elbows to the knee. Inhale, lengthening through. Exhale, crunching in. Inhale, lengthening through. Exhale, crunching in. Inhale, lengthening through. Hold in. Breathe in. Good. Exhale, we're going to place our left hand down. We're going to take our right knee behind the left knee and really hug the thighs together. And then from here, we're going to inhale, float the right arm up towards the sky. So really squeeze those thighs together. Lift up through the right hand and gaze up towards your right fingers. Think about pushing that right shoulder back, drawing the left one through. Another great twist. Good. One breath here, inhaling, lengthen a little more, exhaling. Right hand down, right knee back, toes together, knees apart, guys. Push back into child's pose. Start to just shimmy your hips a little closer to your heels. Then lengthen through the spine. And as we lengthen through the spine, we're going to lengthen through the arms too. And then come to placing either a forehead or a chin onto a mat. Remember, if you don't quite reach, you can always use a block here to just prop your forehead onto. So, but it's the lengthening. Think about the lengthening. And once you have that length, then release into it. Nice deep breaths. So this is our go-to pose to just reset our body. Time to check in with your breath, making sure those exhales are the same length of time as your inhales. Now you can either stay here, or if you want to work a little deeper into your shoulders today, you're going to draw the palms together. You're going to bend the elbows, and then we're going to place the palms on top of our head. So whichever pose you're in, we're here for 2 or 3 more breaths. Try and just really relax into whichever of your poses you've decided to go with. Next in-breath, just gently releasing through from there. Placing the hands back under the shoulders, restacking ourselves into tabletop. And ready to do the left hand side. Good. Okay, so just double check that your hands are spread out, that you are resting down on the whole of the hand, pushing the palm into the floor, not coming back onto the heel of our wrists. And this time we're going to float our left leg back. Think about that straightness of spine and leg, and then activate through that left heel. So toes pointing down towards the floor, you're flexing into your heel. Once you've got your balance, extending through the right arm and really lengthening. Think about that length. You lengthen a little more. Take a big inhale. And on the exhale, coming into the crunches on this side. Inhale, lengthening through. Exhale, crunching. Inhale, lengthening through. Exhale, crunching. Last one. Inhale, lengthening through. Exhale, crunching. Next, inhale, lengthen. Pull the belly button in towards the spine. Hold. Yeah, and then exhaling the right hand down. We're going to tuck the left knee behind the right knee. Really squeeze those thighs together. Inhale, the left arm up towards the sky. And then just gaze up towards your left fingers. Really pushing the left shoulder back, drawing the right shoulder in. Squeezing those thighs for balance. Good. Big inhale. And exhale, float in. The right hand down. And the knee down. We're going to keep our hips up nice and high. And we're just going to walk our arms forwards and come into puppy pose, guys. So just gently allowing the chin to come down. If this is too deep a stretch for you, just come into a normal child's pose. Really pushing the tops of the feet into the mat. Couple of breaths. Good. Next, inhale, just gently pulling out of that, and exhale, lowering down onto mats. Right, so we want to really lengthen through. Start to extend the arms up in front of you. Relax through the shoulders. Really push the soles of the tops of the feet into your mat. Lengthen. Inhale and gently start to raise both the arms and the legs away from the floor. Just be really mindful of your lower back here. If it hurts too much, maybe not want to use, sit this one out and rejoin us on the next pose. Good, exhaling down. Take a couple of breaths. Ready to go again, pulling the belly button in towards the spine, inhaling, arms and legs. Keep breathing, keep smiling, guys. Point through the toes, lengthen through those fingers. Good, exhaling down. Couple of breaths. Last one, inhale. Raise those arms, raise those legs, lengthen through, pull the belly button away from the floor. Perfect, exhaling down. Cross those arms in front of you, take the feet as wide as your mat. I've got a dog on my feet. And just place the forehead onto the top arm. And we're here for 2 or 3 breaths. So crocodile pose, a little bit like child's pose. It's just where we come to just start to rebalance again. So come into tune with that breathing. Raise the head a little and just walk the knees back in about hip distance apart. We're going to bend the knees, send the toes up towards the sky, and we're just going to wind wiper our legs from side to side. So just releasing any tension that we may have built up. Good, and then floating the feet back down onto the floor. Just placing your hands underneath the shoulders. Start to push yourself up. And then walk the knees in towards the hands. Pop yourself onto your bottom. So cross-legged is great, but if that is not an option for you, then you know that you can have the legs out in front of you. And from here, we're just going to sit ourselves up nice and tall. Relax the shoulders away from the ears and gently start to tilt the right ear over towards the right shoulder. So you want to keep that left shoulder down Don't allow the shoulders up around the ears, so push them down. Make sure that your shoulders are stacked over your hips, you're sitting up nice and tall, you're sort of pushing the chest forwards. Good. Take another in-breath. And on the exhale, we're going to roll that chin down towards our chest. We're keeping that length through the spine. We're not curling the shoulders down. And then start to roll left ear over towards the left shoulder. Push the right shoulder away. Good. And then very gently chin to chest. Roll that chin down. Keep that spine nice and straight. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. And then inhaling the head up. Good. So take hold of your belts or whatever it is that you're using for a belt today. And we're going to come into straddle with our legs. So if you find that you're quite tight in the hips here, we're going to come into some forward folds. You can always sit on your block. So by sitting on your block, that's just going to raise those hips up. And it's just going to allow you to come into a deeper forward fold. So either way is great, whatever works for you. Sit yourself up nice until we're going to place the belt around the ball of the left foot. And then kick into both of your heels, the toes facing up towards the sky. The longest belt in the world here, guys. And you want to have that belt sort of equally in both hands. Good. We're going to take a nice deep in-breath. We're going to pull that belly button in towards the spine. Sit up nice and tall, and on the exhale, just gently twist over the left knee, and then start to keep the spine nice and straight, hinging at the hips. Draw yourself down over your leg. Yeah, so we're not curling in. We're not curling in like this. We're walking that body. We're lengthening that spine. And once you hit that point where you know you can't go any further, that's when you give into it. That's when you bow the head graciously down towards your knee and you start to tune into your breath. Yeah, so with those inhales, we're making space within our body so that on the exhales, maybe you can just come into that fold a little bit deeper. So we're here for about 3 or 4 breaths. You feel that really lovely stretch right up the back of your leg. Keep those feet active. One more full round of breath. And then next in breath, floating yourself into a nice upright position. Removing the belt from the left foot, placing it onto the right foot. It's the same drill on this side, really activating through your heels. Inhale, belly button in, sit up nice and tall, push that chest forward, exhaling, twisting over the right knee, and then starting to keep that nice lengthening through the spine as you draw yourself down towards that knee. Finding that biting point and then just releasing down into it for 4 or 5 breaths. One more round of breath. 4 round of breath. Good. Then inhaling, floating yourself back up. Moving the belt, bringing the legs in, and then just drawing the soles of the feet together, inching the soles of the feet a little closer to you. So we don't want to have them too close. Just make a big old diamond here. Grab hold of your toes, take an in-breath. Wiggle your elbows onto the outside of your shins if you have space. And then on the exhale, just start to pull the body forward. So we're pushing the chest forward, we're lengthening through the spine, we're pushing the tailbone back into the floor, and we're releasing down And just spending a couple of breaths here. So really, really lovely stretch on the base of the spine. Yeah, then inhale, floating ourselves up, taking our hands to our knees and lengthening through the left leg. So right sole of the foot into tree pose again. So taking the sole of the foot to the inside of the left leg, taking hold of your belt, placing it around the ball of the left foot again. Inhale, sitting up tall. Exhale, walking forward, keeping that length through the spine, keeping that foot nice and active, bowing the head down at the last minute, and just releasing into that lovely, lovely stretch. One more full round of breath. Yeah, then inhale, floating yourself to upright position, releasing the belt. We're going to stand our right foot up. We're going to keep that right heel really close to our body. Take your belt in just your right hand. Okay, going to tie you up in knots here, guys. We're going to place the right arm on the inside of the right leg. We're going to take a nice big inhale, lean forward as far as we can, and then on the exhale you're going to flick that belt behind you and start to lean down towards the floor. We're going to inhale the left arm away, exhale, start to wing that left arm behind you, grab hold of the tail of your belt. Take another big in breath and just lengthen a little bit more, and then on the exhale, float that head down towards your knee. Okay, so those of you that managed to get into that position first time, you're going to hold that pose, you're going to breathe deeply. Those of you that maybe didn't, I'll show you again. Okay, so belt, right hand, right knee bent in, right arm on the inside of your right knee, leaning forwards on an inhale, and on the exhale, swoop in that right arm, so you're twisting the arm inwards from the shoulder, sending the arm behind the front of the right shin, flicking your belt behind you, lengthening through with your left hand, and then swinging that hand behind you. I'm going to turn around now so that you can just see what it should look like from the back. Okay, and from here, just keep breathing. Keep that left foot active, toes facing up towards the side, bowing your head down. Breathe in deeply. Good. Inhale, floating yourself back up to upright position. Sending both legs out in front of you and just pedaling them up and down, just releasing that tension, maybe swinging the feet from side to side before coming into tree pose on the other side, the left sole of the foot, right inside of the thigh. Hips facing forwards, belt on the ball of the right foot this time. Good. Kick into that right heel, so we're flexing into the heel, inhale, sitting up nice and tall, exhale, walking forwards, walk those hands forwards, bring the knee and the head towards each other, bowing down towards the floor, feeling that stretch in the spine, at the back of the leg, breathing deeply, just allowing gravity to help pull you a little closer towards the floor. Two or three more full rounds of breath. Sink into it, release into it. Just in breath, floating your body into a nice upright position, releasing the belt. So we're going to stand the left foot up and take our belt into our left hand. So if you can see Ralph from the camera point where he's lying on his back with his legs in the air. Lazy dog. Okay, so belt in just the left hand this time. Okay, left arm inside of left knee. Inhale, lean forwards, and on the exhale you're going to flip that belt behind you. Send your arm behind you, so you're rotating inwardly from that left shoulder and then twisting at the elbow, sending the arm backwards. Inhale, lengthen through with the right arm, and exhale, swing that arm behind, grab hold of your belt, guys, and then bow the head down towards your right knee. So we're keeping that right heel flexed, we're bowing down, we're feeling that stretch. Breathing through. Here for 2 or 3 more breaths. So again, just give into it. Allow gravity to help pull you down. Focus on your breath. Perfect. Just inhale. Gently floating up, releasing. Just popping the belt to one side. Sending your left leg out in front, and again, just pedaling up and down. With the feet, with the legs, swinging the feet from side to side, just making any little movements that feel good. And then just tucking the toes underneath you, rolling yourself back into your charge pose. So toes together, send your knees as wide as you can, maybe a little bit wider than last time. And this time we're going to just float the arms down in front of us and come into a relaxing child pose. So either your head or your chin on the mat, or your head on your block, whatever feels good. We're here for 2 or 3 breaths, so really relax into it. Perfect. Next in breath, floating yourself up. Join the knees together and a little closer, stacking yourself up through tabletop. And in tabletop, we're just going to do 2 or 3 more cat and cows here, just to release any tension that we've built up. So using the speed of your breath, remember inhaling as you come into your cow, exhaling as you push back into cat. So keep going, just using your breath flow to guide the timing. Really feeling that flowing motion of your body, the spine. Last round. Back into your neutral tabletop. Just walking the knees a little closer to the hands, popping onto your bottom, and then grab either your block, or if you have a cushion, whatever it is you're using, grab hold of that. So you want to be sat nice and upright on your sit bones, and just have your feet about hip distance apart. Draw the knees towards you, draw your heels towards you. We're going to take our block or our cushion and just pop it in between our knees. Okay, good stuff. And then gently start to lay yourself down. So we're going to come into some bridge poses here. So soles of the feet want to be really glued into the floor. Lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the neck, chin very gently dipping down towards the chest. Palms face down on the mat. Lengthen through those arms, pull the shoulder blades together. See if you can even maybe tickle the backs of your heels. That's what we're trying to do, lengthen those arms. Good. Spread through your fingers. We're going to take a nice inhale, pull the belly button back towards the spine, and then float the hips up towards the sky. Squeeze that block, guys. Good. We're going to exhale, take it down and hover those hips. Inhaling up, push up with the hips, exhaling, floating down. We're here for about 20, so keep going using the speed of your breath. Inhaling as you go up, exhaling as you come down. There should be no pain in your lower back here. So if you are struggling a little bit, if your back is giving you a lot of grief, then just maybe sit this one out, hug the knees into the chest. The rest of us are going to keep going. Inhaling up, exhaling down, squeezing that block. Really good for our pelvic floor muscles as well. So you want to feel like you're pulling everything up and in as you send those hips up. Don't forget you're hovering, you're not taking the hips all the way to the floor. I think we're halfway there. Keep going, stay with me, keep breathing. With this lovely summer weather, short sleeves and shorts. We want our bodies in tip-top condition for when they let us back out again, guys. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Let those hips come all the way to the floor this time. Draw the knees into the chest. Take the block from in between your legs. Hug those knees into the chest. Give yourself a gentle little rock from side to side. Well done. So just making any little massages and little movements here that feels good. And then we're going to float the soles of the feet back onto the floor. Okay, so again, we want to have our heels quite close to our bottoms. Have your feet about hip distance apart. Really push the soles of the feet into the floor. And with either your block or with your cushion, just gently raise the hips up. Place whatever it is underneath you, and then lower yourself back onto your prop. Yeah. So you want to make sure that it's comfortable here, guys. Okay. Then just walk the heel toe, the feet closer together, squeeze the knees in towards each other. So we're going to come into waterfall pose. So place the palms down beside you on the mat again. Just see if you can lengthen through the arms towards the heels. And then we're going to float our feet up towards the sky. And we're going to stay here for about 5 breaths. So nice inversion. Really good for our bodies, really good for our spirit. Very relaxing on the nervous system. And you could, with this one as well, just pop your feet up against the wall if that's easier, if you're close to a wall. And this is just a great pose to go to. So I always say this is probably, if you've only got 5 minutes in your day to give to yourself, feet up the wall is the best option. Really does lots of lovely things for us. It helps with the blood flow, the circulation, helps with the lymphatic circulation as well. So just really has a great impact on our bodies. Three or four nice deep breaths. And then you've got some choices, guys. You can either stay here, okay, or those of you that have shoulder stand or pike in your practice, then let us take the option to come into that too.
Okay, so you want to remember you're going to keep your head nice and straight here. You're not going to wiggle your neck from side to side. So you're going to just raise your hips, your bottom up towards the sky, and then have your hands facing up towards the sky. Start to walk the hands in, so they're sort of resting underneath your hip bones, pointing through your toes, chin tucked in towards the chest. Breathe in fully. Trying to find that length through. And then if you want to come into full pike, we're just dropping the toes over our head towards the floor, and you want your toenails on the mat here, okay? If that's good for you, then just send the hands back onto the mat and just move whatever problem was underneath you out of the way. Send it to one side. Nice deep breaths. You want to take it a little further, interlace the fingers, make a fist with the hands, and just really lengthen that fist down towards the bottom part of your mat. Good. Pull those shoulders in a little closer. Yeah, and if you're in pike, we're going to come out. So place the palms back onto the mat. Gently roll yourself back down into waterfall. So we're all in waterfall position. And then from here, draw the soles of the feet gently down onto the mat. If you have a prop underneath you, then just take the hips up high, move the props to one side, draw the knees in, hug them in. Yeah, little rock from side to side. And then plant the soles of the feet back down onto the floor. Start to lengthen into your chosen position for your final relaxation today. Lengthening the heels away from us on the mat. Or you can be on your side, you can be on your tummy, wherever feels good for you today. So just take a moment to find that space, find that place that you are going to be totally able to relax into. If you're lying flat on your back, then maybe just allow the feet to drop out to the sides. Take the palms away from the body. Start to relax through your toes and your ankles. Relax through the backs of the legs, the calves, shins. Relax the thighs, the hips. Allow the spine to soften into the floor. Relax fingertips, the wrists, the inside of your elbows. Relax the shoulders, lengthen through the neck. Soften the brow, soften the jaw. So we're here for about 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, just allow that breath to be quite automatic now. Just switch off any control you had over your breathing. Allow it to be really natural. Relax the body. Relax the mind. Your next in-breath, just that little bit deeper. Start to wake your body up, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. If your legs were bent, then start to straighten them. And we're going to rotate wrists and ankles in one direction. And then back in the opposite direction. Next in-breath, float the arms up towards the sky, overhead, come into a full body stretch. Lengthening through fingers, toes, arms and legs. And have a little smile to yourself. Take a moment here to just offer gratitude to your body, perhaps, for still being safe and strong and healthy. And once you've finished stretching, draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a final little hug, final little squeeze, little massage from side to side. Keeping the knees bent, we're going to drop the knees to the left hand side and roll our head to the right hand side. Lovely little twist. Switch sides. Knees up to center, over to the right, and head very gently to the left. Roll your whole body onto the right hand side and just take a moment or two to invite that full awareness back into your body. You're very slowly pushing your hands into the floor, bringing yourself into a nice upright position. So again, legs can be wherever legs are comfortable. Sit yourself up nice and tall though, chin nice and parallel to the floor. Just going to balance your breath out, ready for the rest of your day. So we're going to inhale and just lengthen through our arms. Start to push those palms up towards the sky. And then on the exhale, float your palms gently down through your body center. Again, inhale, lengthen, lift, breathe in. And exhale, floating those arms down through your heart center. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Lengthen, stretch. Exhale, floating down. Last time, inhaling. And exhaling. Right hand to your heart, left hand to your tummy. May this practice heal and strengthen your body and your mind. May this practice heal and strengthen your body and your mind. Thank you so very, very much for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's Gravity Yoga UK. All of the other classes that we have been practicing during lockdown are on there. And over the next few weeks, I promise I will be adding lots more for you too. Stay in contact. Let me know how you are, how you're doing, or if there's any requests for anything that you want me to add into next week's class, obviously let me know too. So again, thank you very, very much from myself and my extremely lazy hound here. Have a great week and I hope to see you very, very soon. Namaste.